We've been saying it for years.
Tax revenue, if it were taxed and regulated similarly to alcohol, it would be about $6.2 billion.
We're still saying it today.
The prohibition of marijuana over the last 71 years has not actually prevented people, including you, from using marijuana. So if we know that this government program called prohibition doesn't work, maybe after 71 years it's time for a new approach.
And now, people are listening.
The beauty of this regulation of marijuana, it would relate to saving a lot of money on law enforcement, on incarceration. It would also help the environment because, as you know, rogue plantations of marijuana are not exactly eco-friendly. It also is good public policy. And of course, the economics of it, if you do the math, cannot be disputed.
America is now engaging in a much-needed discussion about the benefits of taxing and regulating marijuana, and we believe there are 4 highly compelling reasons for such a plan: revenue, savings, the environment, and public support. While estimates vary, we can safely say that taxing and regulating marijuana would bring in revenues measuring in the billions of dollars. These revenues would come not only from an excise tax, a tax levied on the purchase of marijuana, but through the myriad of other sources that a legal, regulated industry would produce, such as corporate taxes, sales taxes, and personal income taxes. In California, a proposed excise tax of $50 per ounce would generate over $1 billion in revenue alone.
The revenue impact of this proposal, we believe, will generate over $1.3 billion.
Revenue is only one half of the economic coin, though. Not only is taxing and regulating marijuana going to bring in new revenue, but it's going to help generate huge savings. Estimates put the total cost of marijuana prohibition that could be saved through tax and regulation at anywhere from $7 to $10 billion. Similar estimates predict that the state of California would save itself nearly $1 billion in law enforcement costs if marijuana were taxed and regulated. This may seem astonishing, but consider just the costs of a single marijuana arrest in law enforcement time, transportation, booking, accommodations, court time, public defenders, and so on. To further put these numbers into perspective, consider that a modest combined revenue and savings of $15 billion would cover the entire yearly budget for the state of Iowa. It would also completely cover the projected shortfall for the controversial S-chip program for the next 5 years with $8 billion to spare. Economic arguments aside, taxing and regulating marijuana would be good for the environment as well. Throughout the American West, criminals are using national forests and other public lands for illegal marijuana operations. They pollute the areas with pesticides, leave behind garbage and waste, and often make dramatic changes to the landscape. In California's Sequoia National Park, officials estimate the cost to repair damages to be $11,000 per acre. If marijuana were taxed and regulated, these illegal operations would vanish, just like there are no illegal vineyards in our national parks. Finally, taxing and regulating marijuana is simply sound public policy that supports public opinion. A Gallup poll showed public support for making marijuana legal rose from 12% in 1969 to 36% in 2005, with a more recent CBS New York Times poll asking the same question showing support for legalization at 41% in January 2009. Similar polls by Zogby and Rasmussen put support for marijuana legalization at 44% and 40% respectively. No matter how you look at it, taxing and regulating marijuana is a smart move.